today I'm filming with the 2013 Mazda Miata NC, better known as for the chassis, Club Edition. This has a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine putting out 167 horsepower. It's a fun little roadster, and I'm going to show you what it has to offer, the features that it does, which are very slim because this thing is driving focused more than it is on comfort. But anyways, let's just go ahead and get right on into it. A big Mazda logo stamped right in the middle, which is kind of weird because this is such a small car that it has, you know, such a big logo there, but it fits, it fills it in. And then we've got a little front splitter here, which is going to help keep the air going up top instead of getting under the bottom. Like I said, this car is very driver focused, so that's going to be everything that you're going to see with this car is going to be revolved around cornering and handling. This is not a straight line car, it's not a speed car, it's just a nice little roadster that you can hit the back roads with and have some fun. It's a very predictable car. But anyway, for the front, like I said, a very more aggressive fascia than the NB, and you know, you've got a little bulge there in the hood, which is kind of weird. It recesses and then it bulges back, but nonetheless it looks pretty cool. It doesn't serve any, you know, significant purpose. There's not like a turbo packed in here or something, or you're not a supercharger on top, you know, there's nothing like that. So you've got your typical sizing here, 17x7 wheels, and you've got them in gunmetal gray, which is a nice fit on the bright red here. You've got what mimics a wide body here for the arches on the fenders. It looks very nice. We'll come back just a little bit. You'll see that you've got your club badge here. You got your MX-5 decal here that's going to run all the way along the door and the fenders. You've got your black mirror, which is kind of cool. I guess I would rather see it black rather than the red, but nonetheless that's a really cool one. But there's not much going on with the body lines overall. The car just has, you know, these widened fenders and, you know, smooth curvy body. It's just a very simple car. Alright, so we've got a 205 45 17 here in the rear. Again, look at this rear quarter. It's got the widened arches and it looks really good actually, and it even flows through with the bumper as well, so it really all just ties in together. Like I said though, no crazy body lines. This thing is just very smooth, no spoiler, no nothing. It really just does not have too much aggression, but it doesn't really need it. It's not really putting out a lot of power, it's more of just what it can do in the corners. So I'm going to move around back now and show you the rear setup. You'll come to the back, you'll notice you got a dual tip setup, just a little diffuser here, and your Mazda badge and the MX-5 badge plate holder. There's really not a whole lot going on. There's no backup camera, nothing. This thing doesn't come with a lot of the bells and whistles, but again, I can't emphasize enough, you know, 2013 when this came out, yes, some cars did have backup cameras and they did have nicer features, but this is just a focused driving car. You've got your little hole here for the key, so you can manually pop the trunk, and you've got Bourne's Daytona Beach, Florida right here on the trunk lid, because that's where this vehicle is located for sale, and you can come check it out. It's a beautiful car. Okay, first thing to notice when you open the door is you got a small little storage compartment here. You've got a nicely padded elbow rest here. It's not crazy soft padded, but it's better than Fisher-Price plastic. So you got your lock and unlock button, and you've got your power mirrors, so you know, left, right, up, down, left, right, whatever you need to do. You've got a big deep cup holder here in the door, which is very nice because I'll show you once we get in a little bit more. The other cup holders aren't so good. They're not in a good spot and they're not very deep. So you've got one on the driver's side and the passenger side. So you've got your door handle up top here, and then you've got your main speaker and a little tweeter. So we'll come in just a little bit more. There's not anything fancy on the sill here. Doesn't say MX-5, doesn't have any, you know, badging or anything like that. So you've got a manual seat here, so all your options in your seat are manual. There's no power options, and then that'll kind of help, you know, save weight. So we'll come in just a little bit, and these seats are kind of comfortable. I mean, they do hug you in. You know, that's going to be the main goal here, is that they hug you in and, you know, they keep you planted in your seat when you're, you know, doing your lap times or hitting the back roads. Now I'm a little bit smaller of a person, so I don't quite fit in these seats all the way. So if somebody's a little bit bigger than I am, then you'll be able to fit these just fine. It'll be able to hug you nice and snug. But personally, I'll be moving around just a little bit from side to side. But once I'm there, I'm sure I'm not going to move past that point, and I'll be able to hook the corner without rolling out of the seat. So all right, so you'll see down at your footwell, you've got a dead pedal on the left, and then you got your gas and your brake pedal. You'll come up just a little bit to your left, you've got a deep storage compartment, which is kind of nice, and then you've also got your hood button, your trunk button, and your traction control and off button. And then you've got 2 dummy switches there, which don't do anything. That's where buttons would go, but there are no options for it. Then you'll come look at the steering wheel. You've got this nice silver finish around the Mazda logo. The steering wheel is put together very nice. It's all leather. On your left side, you've got your volume controls, and on the right side, you're going to have your cruise control settings. Now, this car does have paddle shifting, so you've got your up shifts and your down shifts, which are kind of in a weird spot. You would think that one side would be up, the gas side would be up, and this side, left side, would be down. But they've got up on both sides and down on both sides, so it's kind of weird. Not too sure why, but that's how it is. So anyway, on the left of your turn stalk, you'll have your headlights and all that kind of stuff. On the right side, you'll have your windshield wipers. I mean, there's nothing too crazy about all that. You'll look in the center though, and you'll have your oil pressure gauge smack in the middle, which is kind of funny because you would think, like, why would they put it smack in the middle? I would think that because once you're hitting the corners and you're toe-gaying real hard, you're going to want to watch your oil pressure, because your oil's sloshing around in there, and you want to watch your oil pressure to make sure your oil pump's keeping up and working and doing what it should be doing, so you're not starving your engine while you're sitting there mashing it in the corner. So that's kind of cool that it's sitting in there right in the middle. Nonetheless, the gauges are pretty simple, white face gauges, nothing too special, nothing too crazy. You got your dimmer, and we'll come over just a little bit more, and you'll notice your radio, which by today's standards is very out of date. And you'll come down, you've got your climate control settings, and this is where it's kind of cool. So I've never seen a setting here for like a middle setting or a split middle setting. It's kind of interesting. So you'll look here on the dial and you'll see the pictures, and it's got a split setting. So you wonder, like, what the heck? So you look up on top here in this red piece here, in this red plastic piece, you've got your four pod gauges. Cool. You look slightly below that though, right underneath the wiper turn stalk, and you'll see kind of some vents in the middle, which is like, that's kind of interesting. I've never seen that in any other car. So you've got them on the driver's side, and then you got one on the passenger side next to the glove compartment. It's kind of small, but it's still there, and it just channels the air through the midsection. I don't know, that's kind of cool. So why they have that, I'm not too sure. I think maybe these pod vents just probably don't put out enough, and that's just a little bit extra. But anyway, it's pretty cool. So you've got cold, hot, your typical functions, and your AC, which is going to be nice. So right below that, you've got a 12 volt, and you've got an aux. Hard plastics everywhere. I mean, there's not really any storage up here. You got a normal looking gear shifter. It's nothing too crazy. You got Triptronic shifting. Come back a little bit. Power windows for driver and passenger. You've got a manual e-brake here, which is very nice to see. Love the manual e-brake. And then you've got the cup holder. So remember, I said that there was one in the door. So you go ahead and slide this back. These cup holders are not as deep. They could probably be a little bit deeper, but nonetheless, they're here. They're just kind of in a bad spot. If you had a manual transmission, you need to be busy around this area. So in an automatic, you can probably get away with this, but in a manual, you're not going to want to be putting your cups here, have your drinks going around, you elbow your drink on your passenger, you elbow it into the seat. It's just not good. So These position cup holders, I mean, I guess it's cool that they're there, but honestly, I wouldn't put any drinks there, especially if you got the manual transmission. I wouldn't. Anyway, you just slide that over when you're done, and it acts as an arm pad, which is, you know, not all that comfortable. Honestly, it's not all that comfortable. Most of this in here is plastic. Like I said, this is a lightweight, compact roadster meant for the corners. So you'll see this middle section. You go ahead and just lift this tab, and you'll have a big storage compartment for a lot of different things, whatever you need to put in here. Your phone, your wallet, everything is going to be nice and secure in here. And when you're done, just go ahead and lift it up. Right above that, you'll have a little latch, so you'll just go ahead and pull that latch towards you, and that'll actually release the soft top so that you can manually put it up. So there are no power options to put up the soft top on this car. You have to get out of the car and literally put it up yourself and do what you got to do and latch it yourself. It's not fancy in any way, shape, or form. It just works, and it's actually kind of easy. It's actually kind of light, so you'll be able to do it with, you know, not too much of a problem. The passenger side door is going to be the exact same setup as the driver, minus, you know, the power window features. Open up the glove box, and you'll see, you know, it's a fairly good sized glove box. Actually, this whole piece of paper fits pretty good in here, so it's a lot of room, and you just close it up, and, you know, there's not too much that the passenger gets, and not too much that the passenger can really experience, except, you know, enjoy the ride. So you've just got your visors here, which are plastic. It's kind of interesting to see that they are plastic, but driver and passenger is plastic. And, you know, you just go ahead and lift up, again, more plastic. You can see yourself. Go ahead and close it down, and all the plastic, you know, sounds nice and hard, and, you know, whenever you close it. So you just got your mirror here. There's no dimming, there's no compass, there's nothing like that. And you got your dome light here, which is very small, but I'm sure it probably works better than absolutely nothing. Now I'm going to show you how to put the top up. So like I said, we're just going to go ahead and pull this button, and then we'll get out and we'll throw the top on. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put the top up. Like I said, you just pull that lever, you go ahead and grab in the middle here, and the top will come up. So you just go ahead and pull this like that, and then we're going to go ahead and hop in the car. So now that you're in the car, so you've got the hook that you need to latch on there, and then you've got this plastic piece, and you just push that in, and you'll see the release button. It'll kind of, you know, jump out at you and come back in. Well, now you know that your top is locked. It's not going anywhere. It's very simple. It's very easy. And then when you're done, you just go ahead and press that release button, right? Pull that plastic piece back, pull the hook back, and then we'll just go ahead and I'll get out. And you just go ahead and put it back. And then it just snaps back into place. And that is really it. There's not too much into it. I mean, there's no power options, there's nothing to fail, there's nothing to go wrong. It just works. Very simple. So that's a very cool thing to have. Like I said, no power options is going to help save weight, and, you know, less technology the better, honestly, in my opinion. Alright, so now we're getting under the hood of the NC. Like I said, it's got a 2-liter inline 4, naturally aspirated. There's no turbo or anything, but it really doesn't need it. This car is plenty of fun without it. So the engine bay under here is very, very clean. It's nice, it's simple. A lot of Miata people love working on these cars because the engines are just so simple. They're just so easy. And like I said, there are very minimal computers to this car because, like I said, it's a lightweight roadster. All it needs to do is hook in the corners, and that's how you have your fun. There's no luxury, there's no nothing crazy, there's no engine covers. Everything is exposed. It's there for you to see. So that way, you know, if you have an accident at the track, you know, you could probably fix it with just a couple of tools. I mean, it's just a very simple car. Anyway, the hood is very lightweight. It's got a prop rod, no gas struts. So again, you know, like I said, just very base options for this vehicle, but nonetheless very nice. All right, so there you have it, the 2013 Mazda MX-5 Club Edition in true red with the black interior. Like I said, this car is lightweight, it's practical, it's fun, it's easy to work on, it's cheap to maintain. A lot of people love this car. With the similar competitors like the BMW Z4 and the Porsche Boxster, you know, this thing is just a great bang for its buck. A lot of people love these cars. It's an enthusiast car, you know. It's just, like I said, it's got, you know, more of an aggressive styling, more technology over the NA and the NB. Honestly, I would prefer the NC. They really just keep getting better and better. They just keep improving these vehicles, and that's what people love about them. That's why Mazda is still making these vehicles, you know, despite the sizing of them, because people just love them. Miatas are just so cool, honestly. Nonetheless, this car will just put such a big smile on your face. You can take the back roads. Honestly, you can keep up with, you know, a lot of cars you probably didn't think you could in the corners, but these things are just dialed. They're just so great. Mazda really focuses on that suspension geometry much rather than what's inside the car. But here it is, you know, there's not very many features, but it's a whole lot of fun. Don't let it fool you. Come check it out. It's at Bourne's in Daytona Beach, Florida. Stay tuned for more reviews coming on my channel here soon. It was a great pleasure filming this Miata, and like I said, this color is true red, and this is the Club Edition. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for next one.